O'Donnell, you may have loved your service revolver, but that was before a lot of skill based matchmaking. 180s have never been good. They've always been the worst hand cannon. So you probably had pretty good games back then when things were much slower and all of that, but still, time to kill versus range versus lethality, they've always been the worst class. But they're fun, they're easy to use, they're reliable, but you're looking at. So, like, they have the same time to kill as a 120, they're both 1 second, but one had 40 meters, and for the longest time, 180s couldn't even hit 30. Or they would hit 31, 32, so they'd be really low range, low time to kill. And as you would get closer than 30 meters, when you're in 30 meters, you're encroaching on fusions and SMGs and sidearms. So you're losing against them. Then at range, you're losing against scouts, pulses, other hand cannons. They've never been good. They've always been probably the worst archetype in the game. One of the worst. They didn't ruin them, O'Donnell. They've always been bad. Your perception of how good it was is purely anecdotal. If you compare it like to the sandbox of range and all that, 180s have always been one of the worst and underperforming. But if you have a Radiant build now, because of 3.0 with Solar, they're decent. So what you do is you run a Radiant build to help you get the first 3 tap, and then you run it with like a thing like Rampage, and then you get the next 3 tap, or Kill Clip. Kill Clip's the best because Radiant helps you get the 3 tap, and then you can 3 tap a Kill Clip. The only time they're competitive is when you can make them 3 tap. And even like their damage per shot has always been lower than the other ones, so they're not even the best at peak firing. They don't input the most damage when you guys are strafing in and back and forth in cover. Oh, a hand cannon's gonna go 7. If 140 is gonna go 70, you're gonna go 50 something. They're gonna go 70. You're gonna go 50 something. They're gonna go 70. You're gonna go 50 something. But on the third 70, you're dead, and you still need one more shot to kill him. So in that scenario, you're always gonna lose against a 140. Now with 120, if you have the same range or the same time to kill, yeah, you can trade with them. But once a 120 backed up some, boom, now you're taking 5 or 6 headshots. So now you have a slower time to kill because you just don't have the range. But with the range changes that happened recently, it did help 180s be a little bit more competitive because a lot of the well-rolled ones can get up to 35, 34 meters. So they can kind of compete. And then if you want it with Radiant and then chain it into Kill Clip, you can just chain 3 taps. And if a 3 tap 180, here's the flip side of this. One of the worst archetypes in the game, but when they can 3 tap, one of the best archetypes in the game. Because it basically doesn't suffer flinch, and the time to kill is like a 0.6 when you 3 tap. There's not very many things that can kill that fast. So if you're comparing 1v1 duel, 180s are one of the worst. But with Radiant and then your Kill Clip or some type of chain combo, and they're going for like kill chain, they're one of the best at kill chaining, one of the worst at dueling. But in trials, you're going on that 1v1. You're not going on the, oh, I'm the third person we fought.